Somebody has written a very good moral. The moral of the story is that we should keep our environment clean because cleanliness is next to goodliness, not goodliness, godliness. Okay, we'll stop the story here. Evaluation of computers, the video was sent to you. As per that video, how many of you have unmute yourself and let me know how many of you have seen that video which was sent to you? Come on. Have you seen that video? Girls, unmute yourself and let me know. Janvi Salatia, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen the video?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, I don't see that there is any video.
It was sent over the SNAP homework, evaluation of computers. Have you completed the exercise which was sent?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
I have only written two multiple choice questions.
why? Why you have
Ma'am,
not completed the exercise?
Ma'am, I don't write answers of following question of this.
No, but why you have not written? Answers are sent, no? Girls, listen, I am muting you. Now, listen, girls, I want every one of you to complete your task. 3 chapters are done. We have Sanvi Mahajan, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you done all the 3 chapters?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, have you seen the videos? Sanvi, have you seen the videos which were uploaded on Snap Homework?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. How many of you have raised your hands? How many of you have watched the videos? No raising hands also. Very good. Okay, anyways, we'll not waste any more time. We'll share the screen and we'll explain the chapter to you. Okay, we'll explain the chapter to you. Let's start. So our first chapter is evaluation of computers. Okay, that means how the computers came into existence. How the computer from a very small calculating unit we have processed, we have modified the things, and finally we have computers as a calculating device. Every aspect of our lives in this present era has been influenced by the most advanced machine known as computer. Initially, computers were used only by scientists and engineers for complex calculations and were very expensive. They were very costly and were used only by scientists and engineers for the complex calculations. But nowadays, computers can be afforded by small organizations and even individuals. The term computer is derived from the word compute, which means to calculate. But a computer is not limited to performing only calculations. Okay, so the word computer is derived from the word compute, and compute means to calculate, but computer can do plenty of other tasks. That's why it's written, computer is not limited to performing only calculations. Let us glance through the major milestones in the journey leading to the evaluation of present day computers. We'll begin with history of computers. Firstmost manual calculating device was abacus. Abacus was the first mechanical device for calculation. It was developed in China about 300 BC ago. Now, if you have seen the chapter and if you have read, and since you are working with abacus in the school, it was made up of a wooden frame consisting of rods, each having beads in them. This you know because you are doing abacus. The frame is divided into two parts, heaven and earth. Each rod in heaven had two beads, and each rod in earth had five beads. It was used for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. After abacus, the next we have fact find. This person is known as John Napier. In 1617, John Napier made a calculating device, a set of rectangular rods called Napier's bones. The rods were made up of carved bones which were used to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and square roots. So you can see this is the rod, and there was a pattern set for the calculation. Calculating devices. Pascal adding machine. Blaise Pascal, a French mathematician, invented the first mechanical calculator at the age of 19 in the year 1642. Can you see this machine? This machine is having something round at the top. These round things are called as gears. You might have seen these gears. They are used in wheels. They are used in uh, clocks, wristwatches. So these gears are of use. Now, Pascal adding machine. It used gears, wheels, and dials. Numbers were displayed by rotating the wheel. Numbers were rotated by, numbers were displayed by rotating these wheels. It was capable of performing addition and subtraction. The gear principle was further employed in many mechanical calculators. A taximeter. Now, if you have gone to, in taxis and autos, you find this meter is there, which will they look into the meter and they charge you. Not in Jammu, but outside the Jammu, you'll find every auto rickshaw and every taxi is having this kind of meters. Even your speedometer in the car, scooter, scooty is an example of mechanical calculator. Leibniz's calculator. Leibniz, the famous German mathematician, invented the mechanical device called Leibniz's calculator in 1671. It was an improvisation on Pascal's machine. Now, this was modified. He modified the Pascal's machine, Pascal adding machine, and created something new, and the name was given Leibniz's calculator. Now, in early IT inventors. These were some mechanical devices. Now the IT inventors. Inventors means those who have contributed in the field of computers, in the invention of computers. Charles Babbage, you have heard the name because he is the British mathematician and is considered as a father of computing or computers. Generally, we call him as a father of computers. He invented a working model of mechanical computer called the difference engine in 1822 and analytic engine in 1833. The analytic engine had 5 units: input, output, store, mill, and control. 4 units you also know: input, output, process, and store. So mill and control was your processing unit. Lady Ada Augusta Lovelace. Lady Augusta Lovelace was an English mathematician and writer, chiefly known for her work on Charles Babbage's analytic engine. So she was also known as the first programmer. She is considered as the first programmer who suggested binary data storage 0 and 1 instead of decimal number system. And since computer is an electronic device, it understands only binary language, which is in the form of 0 and 1. George Boole. George Boole was an English mathematician. He solved mathematical problems by reducing them to a series of positive or negative answer questions and linked them by the binary system. It resulted in 1 for positive answer and 0 for negative answer. Even today we say that 1 stands for on and 0 stands for off. This system, known as Boolean logic, became the fundamental principle for the design of computer circuits. Now, listen girls, after 10 minutes, if you get disconnected, please reconnect yourselves, okay? Dr. Herman Hollerith. Herman Hollerith, an American statistician, invented a machine called tabulating machine. It was capable of reading data, processing it, and giving the desired output. These pictures you might have seen in your computer online exam, those who have appeared. This is a tabulating machine. Howard Aiken was the primary engineer in IBM who developed the first automatic sequence control calculator, the Mark I, in 1944. John von Neumann. A modern type computer came into existence with John von Neumann's development of software written in the binary code. So, what came into existence? A modern type of computer with John von Neumann's development of software written in binary code. He also initiated the use of memory to store data as well as program, which we are using nowadays. Newman joined hands with Presper Eckert, American electrical engineer, and John Muchelin, American physicist, in a consulting role. With this, later the team used binary code to build EDVAC in 1950. EDVAC in 1950, and EDVAC stands for Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer. It was an improvised version of ENIAC. Now we'll also study about ENIAC. EDVAC's concept of storing different programs on punch cards led to the advancement of computer that we know today. Somebody is writing something. Let me see. What is it? Ma'am, I can't hear you. Ma'am, speak aloud. Wait a minute. Let me increase the volume then. Now, are you able to? Urvi, write down. Are you able to hear me now? Okay. I want Urvi to write down. Urvi, can you hear me now? Urvi, can you hear me now? Urvi, you have to increase your volume there in your headphones. You please increase your volume, Urvi. Those who are saying voice is not coming, please check your headphones. Now let me begin with again. Okay. So Edward's concept of storing different programs on punch cards led to the advancement of computer that we know today. I hope now the voice is clear. Okay. The first ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrated and Computer. The first general purpose electronic digital computer was invented by John Muchley and J. Presper Eckert in 1946. So you can see the picture here, John Muchley, ENIAC and J. Presper Eckert. ENIAC is it consisted of 18,000 vacuum tubes and was 1,000 times faster than the Mark 1. So you can see from Mark 1 to ENIAC, the modifications were still taking places. Physically, ENIAC was very large in size. It weighed 30 tons and consumed 150 kilowatts of power. It was 100 feet long and 10 feet tall. UNIVAC 1 was the world's first commercially available computer designed by J. Presper Eckert and John Muchley in 1951. Generation of Generations of computers. We have mainly 5 generations of computer. That is, now evolution of the present day computer is commonly classified into generations of computer. Each new generation resulted in the following changes. By the time the speed was increased, storage capacity and reliability increased, but there was a decrease in cost and size. धीरे धीरे उनकी स्पीड, स्टोरेज, कैपेसिटी, रिलायबिलिटी बढ़ती गई और उनके कॉस्ट और साइज छोटे होते चले गए. Generation of computer. First generation, its time period was from 1940 to 1956. They have used vacuum tubes as circuits. Input Data input operation was punch cards. Output operation was done using punch cards as a main storage medium assembly, and then external storage, magnetic tapes. Language used was machine assembly, and examples are UNIVAC, ENIAC, and EDVAC. Let me see what they have to say now. Wait a minute. Ma'am, what's EDVAC, ENIVAC, and UNIVAC? These are the computers. These were the early generation 1 or 2 generation computers. So these you have to go through your book also. Okay, these are the types of calculating devices taken place as a computers. Then we have second generation. The time period is from 1956 to 1963. Rather than vacuum tubes, it used transistors. Transistors were used in second generation of computers. Input operation, for that we used punch cards and magnetic tapes. For output we used punch cards. Storage के लिए हमने use किया magnetic tapes. Language use की Fortran, COBOL, BASIC, etc. Fortran was Fortran and COBOL. COBOL was 2 languages which were used extremely by the people that particular time, because they were used by either business persons or scientists and engineers. Examples are IBM 1400 and 700 series, IBM 350. Then we have generations of computers. Generation was taken place from 1964 to 1971. Rather than transistors, transistors were replaced by integrated circuits, also called as ICs. Input was given through keyboards, output was seen through monitor, external storage was magnetic disks, language sophisticated operating systems were used, Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, RPG. Examples, IBM System 360, Apple I, Altair. Then we have come to fourth generation, जो 1972 से आज तक चल रही है. We are working with fourth generation. Rather than transistors were replaced by ICs and ICs were replaced by microprocessors VLSE. Input was